David's saying move over.
Yes, we are.
Oh, you're in the.
You are. Don't slap your head. It might look weird.
Oh, move on. You guys can move.
Oh, I can't see.
You don't get to hide behind the walls.
That's part of the job. That's right.
We good, Dave? David, we're good? Okay. Good morning. I'm Todd Barnett. I am the Commissioner of Community Safety for the City of Minneapolis. Thank you for joining us today. Summer is an amazing time in the city of Minneapolis. There are lots of events and activities that we spend time with our family and friends, and especially around the 4th of July when we all like to enjoy the fireworks. In the city of Minneapolis, we're working very hard to coordinate our resources and our responses to bring everyone together for a safer Minneapolis. You can look around the city, the county, the state, all have public safety leaders here today, all care about the safety of people during this time. We all want folks to enjoy enjoy the 4th of July, have fun, but also to be safe. While this is a time for celebration, we know that festivities can quickly turn tragic if we don't take safety seriously. We can't do this alone. We need the help of the community to help us keep everyone safe. Today, there will be several speakers. Each one will have a safety message. We have Hennepin County Sheriff Witt, who will talk about the water safety. We have Minneapolis Chief Tyner, who will talk about fireworks safety. We have Minneapolis Police Chief Ojado, who will talk about the road closures for the red, white, and boom celebration. We have Lieutenant Lee here from the State Patrol, and he'll talk about the importance of having a sober ride. And we have the Minneapolis Emergency Communications Center Director Hodney, who will discuss the importance of keeping the lines at 911 open for real emergencies during this time. But first, I'm going to invite Minneapolis Police Chief O'Hara to come up and talk about the dangerous use of fireworks and also about violence during this time. Chief?
Thank you, Commissioner. Good morning. Thank you all for being here today. The Minneapolis Police Department has a sworn duty to protect all people in our community. And we carry out that duty every day, and it does not take a holiday. Our officers carry it out with resolve and professionalism, and we are prepared to carry it out this 4th of July. We know we have a lot of concerns from residents in our community over what we've seen in recent years. We've seen unacceptable behavior during what should be a time of celebration. Residents and families deserve to celebrate Independence Day without fearing gunfire and without fearing fireworks would be used recklessly and dangerously against persons and property. So let me be clear. If you have intentions of coming to this town to cause chaos, don't. You will be arrested, and we will seek charges against you. In 2022, Minneapolis saw several shootings on the 4th of July. 7 people were shot in a short period of time. Fireworks were fired at residents and buildings, and no arrests were made that night. Some individuals were permanently scarred, physically and emotionally, by fireworks used as weapons and the chaos that ensued. In 2023, we again saw groups of people congregating, targeting people, buildings, and even police officers with fireworks. Felony-level assaults under Minnesota law. One individual was seriously injured not far from where we are today to attack another person with a firework. That year, we arrested 16 individuals, and our officers worked quickly to disrupt and disperse the crowds as they gathered around the city. Last year, the red, white, and boom fireworks celebration returned to Minneapolis. Tens of thousands of people came together to have a safe and joyful night. But the night before the 4th, messages began circulating on social media, encouraging people to come from out of town to Minneapolis and attack people and police with fireworks. Just before midnight and into the early morning hours, groups of juveniles and young adults did exactly that. I was on the ground that night, and I personally had fireworks fired towards me. MPD arrested 35 people that night, and thankfully, no serious injuries occurred. I hope the actions of the MPD over the last 2 years have made it clear this behavior will not be tolerated. If you come to Minneapolis with the intent to harm, disrupt, or intimidate, you will be arrested. This year, we are even better prepared. The MPD has increased staffing throughout the weekend. The Taste of Minnesota Festival will be held downtown, and we are working with event organizers to help ensure that it is safe once again for everyone. We are again supporting the Minneapolis Park Board for the Red, White, and Boom fireworks celebration, and we've coordinated a robust citywide public safety plan in partnership with other law enforcement agencies. We are also, once again, using strategic road closures in areas that have seen high levels of problematic behavior. These measures have proved successful last year in disrupting that activity, protecting neighborhoods, and ensuring celebrations could continue safely. Our planning would not be complete without the support of all of our law enforcement partners. I want to thank the Hennepin County Sheriff, the Minnesota State Patrol, Metro Transit Police, Minneapolis Park Police, and the University of Minnesota Park Police Department for their continued collaboration and commitment to public safety. Everyone who lives in or visits Minneapolis deserves to celebrate the Independence Day holiday peacefully and safely. The MPD will be ready to respond and ready to protect those who are here to celebrate those freedoms, our liberty, and our shared values that this country was built on. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Hello, I'm Dewana Wood, Sheriff of Hennepin County. As you've heard, efforts on land throughout the July 4th holiday weekend will increase. The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office wants everyone to experience a safe holiday celebration. That means we will be taking extra measures to prevent anyone who wants to disrupt our community. We will be doing that with Criminal Intelligence Division, who will be monitoring activity leading up to and throughout the weekend. We will also have added patrol deputies to assist our local agencies, as well as increased DWI enforcement. It's already been a busy summer. We want this weekend to be about celebration, not devastation. We also anticipate a lot more people on or around water over the weekend, including our lakes, rivers, beaches, and therefore we will be also monitoring the waters here for when the fireworks shows are going about. The Hennepin County Sheriff's Office Water Patrol Unit will have extra deputies around Hennepin County doing proactive law enforcement and public safety response on the waterways. Please take precautions, especially for those who are the most vulnerable in water. Wear a life jacket. Make sure your children wear their life jackets. Always supervise children in and near the water. There has been a lot of rain recently and our lakes and rivers are high. Make sure to allow for all cautionary signs and warnings are abided by. And remember, if you drink on a boat, it's the same penalty as drinking and driving a vehicle. We will be enforcing BWI as well as DWIs throughout this weekend. So for everyone, I hope you have a very safe and happy 4th of July weekend. Everybody needs to do their part in keeping our community safe. Thank you. And now I'll hand it over to Chief Tyner.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Each year, the Minneapolis Fire Department responds to injuries and fires caused by the use of fireworks around this time of the year. This year, we would like everyone to be able to enjoy the summer and the 4th of July holiday by being safe together. Fireworks that explode or fly projectiles are illegal in the state of Minnesota. Some example of legal fireworks here in the state of Minnesota are sparklers, cones, and snakes. Some tips that I have for a safe 4th of July are fireworks should only be used by adults. Use legal fireworks on your own property, not in public spaces. Always read the directions prior to using fireworks and use them the way that they are intended. Keep fireworks a safe distance from flammable materials. And when not in use, store fireworks in a cool, dry place. Some things that I would like people to refrain from or not to do is please do not consume alcohol or other drugs while using fireworks. Trust me, they do not mix. Please do not relight fireworks that fail on the first try. This is often a reason why people are injured. Please do enjoy the fireworks shows across the metro, including the red, white, and boom. But please, leave the big stuff to the professionals. And with that, I'd like to bring up from the Minneapolis Park Police, Chief Ojado.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Jason Ojado. I serve the Minneapolis Park and Recreation Board as the Park Police Chief. I'm also joined today by Superintendent of Parks, Al Bangora. The Minneapolis Park and Recreation Board is excited to once again host the Red, White, and Boom Independence Day celebration. There will be Independence Day activities throughout the course of the day, and a schedule of those activities can be found on minneapolisparks.org. The culmination of the day will be fireworks, which will take place on the Central Riverfront at 10 p.m. We are asking people who attend the fireworks show to pay close attention to their hydration and to the weather forecast. There are storms currently in the forecast, and it looks like it's going to be a very hot day. I want to highlight a couple of parkway closures that will take place over the 4th of July weekend so people can prepare their travel plans in advance. On the 4th of July, West River Parkway will be closed from Plymouth Avenue until 11th Avenue from midday until the morning of July 5th. Main Street Southeast will be closed from East Hennepin Avenue to 6th Avenue Southeast from the afternoon of the 4th, again until the early mornings of July 5th. Boom Island Park parking lot will be open for disability parking only from 10 a.m. on the 4th of July. In addition, there's a special event taking place at Lake Harriet on July 4th, and Lake Harriet Parkway will be closed from approximately 7 a.m. until 11 a.m. Over the July 4th weekend, beginning the evening of July 3rd through Sunday, July 6th, segments of Bedé-McCoska Parkway will be closed. West Bedé-McCoska Parkway will be closed from Xerxes Avenue South to Richfield Road, and East Bedé-McCoska Parkway will be closed from Lake Street to 36th Street. In addition to Park Police staffing the Red, White, and Boom event, many Park Board staff will be out in the field representing the MPRB as ambassadors. They will be identifiable, and they will assist us in our efforts to head off safety issues from the inception throughout the day. Superintendent Bangora is wearing the type of vest Park Board staff will be wearing on July 4th, so they will be throughout the park system, not just at the Red, White, and Boom event. Thank you, and with that, I'd like to introduce Lieutenant Lee with the Minnesota State Patrol.
Thank you, Chief. Good morning, everyone. I'm Lieutenant Mike Lee. I'm the Public Information Officer for the Minnesota State Patrol. To help ensure that everyone has a safe and enjoyable 4th of July weekend in Minneapolis, the State Patrol will be dedicating extra patrols in the city. Also, we'll be engaged in extra enforcement across the state to help locate and arrest impaired drivers. Understand this, when you ingest alcohol and or impairing substances, it increases your risk of injury and fatal crashes if you get behind the wheel. This is an unnecessary risk, and the consequences can be devastating. In the last 5 years, there are over 1,500 DWI arrests on this weekend alone. We don't want people to be part of this awful statistic. We want people to have a safe and enjoyable holiday weekend. Another message that we want to portray is to advise people to not stop on the 35W bridge to watch the fireworks. We understand this can be tempting, however, it's extremely dangerous and poses a risk to the first responders that respond to this call. It also overfloods our 911 calling system of unnecessary stopping on the freeway. Again, we want everyone to have a safe and enjoyable 4th of July, so please plan ahead and make good decisions. I'll now turn it over to Director Hodney.
Good morning and thank you. I'm Joni Hodney, the Director of Minneapolis 911. I'm also speaking today on behalf of our partners at 311 about the importance of knowing when to call 311 and 911 this weekend. July 4th is one of the busiest days of the year for dispatch centers across the country. That's no exception in Minneapolis. On a typical summer day, Minneapolis 911 averages about 1,900 calls per day. That number jumps to 2,200 on the 4th of July, which may not seem like much, but most of those added calls are concentrated in the late evening hours when residents begin to complain about fireworks noise. If someone calls 911 for something other than an immediate emergency, emergency lines and responders could be unnecessarily busy. This will delay critical help for people experiencing time-sensitive emergencies like heart attacks, house fires, or violent crimes. Our partners at 311 thankfully take a lot of the pressure off of emergency dispatchers by providing critical but not time-sensitive services. Because of that, it's critical to remember that 911 should only be used for life-threatening or time-sensitive emergencies. Calling 911 when it's not urgent can delay help for someone in real danger. With that in mind, when calling 911 related to fireworks, please use the following guidelines. Please call 911 if someone is injured or needs medical help. Call 911 to report an active fire. Call 911 to report if fireworks are being used recklessly and putting people or property at serious risk. And finally, please call 911 if you see a situation involving fireworks is escalating into violence or poses an immediate threat. You should call 311 for reasons that don't require an immediate response, such as noise complaints and observing illegal use that isn't threatening life or property. 311 reports can also be made through the 311 mobile app, through the city's website, or by texting Fireworks to 311-898. To follow up on those reports, help handle the large volume of non-urgent calls, and to support the callers during the various activities in the city of Minneapolis that comes during the 4th of July holiday weekend, 311 will be open during the day, both Saturday and Sunday. Again, it's crucial to keep 911 open to ensure that first responders can quickly reach priority calls, save lives, and protect property. And I will turn it back over to Commissioner Barnett.
Thank you. Before we take questions, I just want to acknowledge one other person, and that's Amanda Harrington, who's here, and she is the Director of Neighborhood Safety. We'll take questions if you have any.
Question for Chief O'Hara. If you can speak to the increased staffing, just help put it into context how much we've increased staffing for this time.
So the question was if I could somehow put into context the increased staffing that will be on this weekend. So there will be more officers working this weekend this year than there had been either of the last few years. That is both because of the Taste of Minnesota festival that's happening this weekend, as well as increased staffing for the night of the 4th of July, both for the Red, White, and Boom festival, as well as additional Minneapolis police officers, patrol officers, specialty teams, and others that will be available in the event that we have to make mass arrests this year, as we did last year. And I just want to be clear, because I know a lot of residents in the community are aware of this. The problem we've seen over the last couple of years are a small group of individuals in a large crowd that use fireworks as weapons. And I want to be clear, if people within that crowd are encouraging that behavior, are contributing to what can be a riotous situation, those people will be arrested too if they do not disperse. And that's exactly what we did last year, and people got charged for it. So I can't reiterate enough, stay away from that behavior. If it's your intention to come here and cause that kind of chaos, don't. We'll be prepared to arrest you.
So the question was around the limitations, I think, of parking. So park hours have not changed at all. Park hours remain established through ordinance. Developed parks close at midnight, undeveloped parks close at 10 p.m. Again, that has not changed. What we have done is some strategic limitations for parking lots or parking bays to close vehicle access at earlier points in the evening. And at Minneapolis-St, the early results are that it has been very helpful.
Can I answer this?
Sure.
So the question continues to be, how are we gauging the effectiveness of these closures? I've told Chief Ohado privately, thank you so much. The first summer I was here, the initial chaos that we had was all around Minneapolis-St. And you could go ask residents that live 5, 10, even maybe 15 blocks away from the park, the chaos that they went through that night, because people were parking in the parking lots and then that was spilling out into the neighborhoods all around there. We didn't have anything near that level down there last year, and that's because of the plan that Chief Ohado put into effect. So very, very clearly that produced results, and we are thankful, as our residents are, we are thankful for it.
I think also in response, it's helpful to put in a context that Minneapolis-St, amongst the 185 parks in the park system, was #1 for 911 calls in 2023 and 2024. We are trying to do something different to lower that number, and over the last month it appears that we have.
One more question for Chief O'Hara, if I can. I know that the videos the last couple of years really show a group of people that are not afraid of police. I mean, in one video you've got someone shooting like a bazooka style right out of police cars.
Yes.
And obviously the police shared all the videos of people firing fireworks right at squads. What do you attribute that lack of fearlessness to, and how do you combat it when sometimes your presence simply isn't enough to deter people from doing what they're doing?
So the question was in regard to the videos that we've seen of essentially mobs even shooting these fireworks at police when police respond. Yeah, and what do I attribute that to? Honestly, from what I've seen, it is large groups of young people, the vast majority of which are not actually shooting fireworks at people, but they're a part of the problem. It's creating a mob mentality. It's spread on social media. These large groups form, and they're kind of just there to watch the show. But at least from our perspective, when the behavior gets that serious, it's essentially riotous behavior, they are just as culpable as those that are shooting the fireworks. And tell you, the video that you mentioned was down by where the mortar was shot at a police car with an officer inside of it. That was near Minneapolis-St. And again, that was before these street closures were put into effect. So while we did have problems last year, we made more arrests, and I believe we had fewer issues citywide than what we had the year before, and we're looking to build on that this year and have this year be even safer.
Maybe this is a question for the sheriff too. Are you seeing anything on social media now with the intelligence gathering that you're doing to indicate that we could see similar problems again this year?
So the question is, are we monitoring social media and do we anticipate problems? We are continuously monitoring social media as best we can. Depending on the platform, we're not necessarily able to anticipate it in advance, but we will be continuing to monitor social media around the clock. And we do anticipate some type of app would be the way these type of pop-up situations occur. I don't know if the sheriff wants to add to that.
Our criminal intelligence unit is monitoring all social media platforms. We're looking for things such as park takeovers. Sometimes our young generation like to invite each other on social media platforms. So that's a part of being the preventative, is knowing what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. But as the chief said, some things you can't plan for because we just have to respond because they just pop up. But we do know that our analysts are making sure that they are combing through social media every day, prior to the 4th of July so that we can be as preventative as possible from these things from happening, especially like park takeovers.
When it comes to like limiting access for certain areas, I guess this might be for the chief or the park, how did you guys decide what areas this year to restrict access to?
So the question was, how did we decide what areas to restrict access to? We're restricting access along the riverfront to facilitate the event. So that's, directly the result of hosting this Independence Day event. B'day-Makaska is because of the activity that we've historically seen there. We implemented that strategy last year, and it was highly effective last year, so we're replicating that.
And then, Chief, I have a question for you about Dinkytown. I guess maybe I missed it. I didn't hear that you guys are looking to close off sections of Dinkytown. I know it was very chaotic last year. I guess, what are you guys doing in that area this year?
So the question was about Dinkytown, how it was chaotic last year, and our terms for this year, our plan for this year. So we will continue to monitor Dinkytown as we did last year. Every weekend throughout the year, Friday and Saturday nights, we do implement a traffic safety plan there. We do conduct road closures around bar close to ensure that the community there is safe. So that's something that actually happens every weekend. We will implement that again this weekend, earlier perhaps, depending on what's needed. But I was there myself last year when the problems were happening, and I am very well aware of the potential for activity. And we will be doing everything we can to try and prevent that from happening this year.
One last question.
For the chief and also potentially for the park. Obviously, you're taking great precautions for the larger parks for the day, for this park itself. What are you doing with the other police departments to ensure other smaller parks might not be an issue moving forward?
So I think, as other speakers have said, the 4th of July for public safety is a demanding day. It's our busiest day of the year. And police officers cannot be everywhere they need to be. They are a scarce resource. And so we are using park staff who are coming in on a holiday to act as ambassadors and be first points of contact and eyes and ears throughout the park system. As I mentioned, we've got a number of these park staff who are stepping outside their normal roles to act as park ambassadors, and that will be helpful throughout the rest of the park system where there are not police officers.
All right, thanks everyone for coming.
I was trying not to sweat. I didn't work too well. Good to see you.
You're better at that. I'm like,
What I was going to say is,
Here it comes.
And then the bugs start coming like
I know, right?
slap or something.
I like how all you guys were in the sun and we were all in the shade.